You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, Birmingham, Alabama.
Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 45 minutes after the hour.
I know.
And we are back. And go ahead and finish with this young man.
Okay. So Zach, like I said, it was like the Coyote Roadrunner thing where he was just off the third floor. So I had gone downstairs to the break room, and he was sitting at one of the tables. He had all the lights on in the break room, and he was hyperventilating.
Oh,
he
no.
was literally rocking back and forth in the chair, hyperventilating. And so Nick, which is one of my lead investigators, had come from. I radioed him. He was actually at Jim's apartment. So I had radioed him. I said, "You need to get to the break room. We're having an issue with Zach." And so he comes running up, and we're all kind of sitting there like, "Settle down, Zach. Just relax, catch your breath." So he kind of closed his eyes, and he kind of regained his composure. And so Nick says, "Here, Ronnie, and here's Zach. Here's your piece of paper. Write what you saw." So he wrote pretty much word for word the same description of the nurse that I saw. And we flipped pieces of paper, and we both looked at each other, and I said, "Guess what, Zach? You just saw your first spirit." And he I think, like I said, I think it was his third or fourth paranormal investigation altogether. He was a new member, and he was very skeptical. And I remember him looking up from the piece of paper that I had written on it. He goes, "Wow." And I said, "So do you believe in this now?" And he says, "Yes." And I will tell you, he has never been on a paranormal investigation with us ever since. It frightened him so bad.
Oh, that's sad. He was so fortunate.
This figure that we saw had so much energy and so much, the depth of the detail of the spirit was so incredible. It was really like a live nurse walking down the hallway. And when we had talked to him, I think he would have been okay if it would have been a little less energetic, I guess, or a little less, see-through.
Yes.
When he was, everybody who's kind of new into it, you watch Ghost Adventures and Ghost Hunters and all of them, and kind of the experiences that you see on when they capture something on video is it's kind of that hazy.
Yes.
You're kind of looking at it like, yeah, is that really, or is it just a bad camera? This was so vivid, and for the nurse to actually stop, pause, look at us, and then keep walking was an intelligent response to a spirit. And I think that's what really freaked him out, was that the spirit actually recognized that we were standing there, and she was going about doing her business. And I think that's what really frightened him. And I'm still really good friends with him. Zach and I are really good friends, and every once in a while we'll talk about it and we'll bring it up. And it's still, to this very day, is something that I think has really touched him in a unique kind of fashion. And, I ask him every once in a while, "So do you believe now? Do you believe now?" He goes, "Without a shadow of a doubt." Without a shadow of a doubt. And I think that's really neat, because there's a lot of us investigators who have spent years doing this and have never seen anything that vivid. And for him to see it on his third or fourth investigation it's just really fantastic. And
it's a gift.
And
it's a gift to you to be able to.
Yeah, he was very lucky. Like I said, a lot of people spend their whole lives doing this and never have the opportunity that he did on his third or fourth visit or investigation. And I think it just scared him a little bit too much. But we're going to get him back in the building. Probably not on the third floor, but he's going to come back one of these days. I know he will.
Well, I have questions that are bothering people so in chat, and I'm going to have to go there because all of us have our favorite areas. All of us have our favorite spirits that we have interacted with over time. And all the men want to know, is the naughty nurse still there?
Well, the naughty nurse, I can't really divulge too much information. But what everybody has heard is not true. The naughty nurse actually does not like being called the naughty nurse. And here I am calling her that. The nurse that
and you're there, she's going to get you for that.
Yeah, I know. But the nurse that people are calling the naughty nurse is actually not, how do I want to put this? She actually had a sexual assault that was done to her, that was actually done in the basement. And she is still in the building. But the rumors and the wives' tales and the stuff that you hear about her being sexually aggressive is absolutely not true. And we have, I believe Renee's got it on EVPs where she does not like being called that. And the reason why she lashes out and does what she does is because she is very misunderstood. She was actually sexually assaulted in the building, and that's the reason that she is as angry and uncomfortable when people are walking through the building calling her that name. So we actually, once people come down and we do the walkthrough, we're going to get more in detail about exactly what happened with her. But that's going to be something out of respect to her that we will not allow to be heard. That we would prefer that people don't utilize that name with her because it's really
Absolutely.
not respectful to her, especially under the circumstances that happened to this young lady when she was in the building. So, but yeah, like I said, we can talk more about that.
Why would somebody put that out there? Well, don't tell me. I know why they would. But that's that's distressing.
It's going back to the old management, to the old wives' tales. It's funny because I've gone back and I've watched some interviews with some of even ownership or management before Stacy,
yes,
with Cindy and Doug and stuff like that. And
I experienced
and like I said, there's so much stuff out there that is 100% not true that they were talking about, and it's very, like I said, very distressing. There's not a lot of spirits in this building that are the stories that are being told are not true. One of the stories too is, and I know there's people probably asking about Jim, who resides in the building as well. The rumors about him are so not true, and it's really discouraging what people had talked about him. He was actually a very talented artist. He was a painter for Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus. When we actually went through Jim's apartment, we found just stacks and stacks of emails. There were rumors about him doing really nasty things to his daughter, which was not true. There was, like I said, we found so much history on Jim that he left behind in the building. And it's just really a shame because he was a guy that was brought up in a family that he was beat unconscious by his father on more than one occasion. And we've got the court documents that actually prove it. So this poor guy had probably one of the most traumatic, terrible childhoods that anybody could possibly imagine. And then he picked up his life. And like I said, he was a very talented painter. He was worked with Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus for a very long time. We have some actual artifacts from the circus that he collected while he was with the circus. But another man that was just a really neat individual that was just really, really brought through the ringer. And the rumors are just terrible. And I think it was, unfortunately, it was all for entertainment value.
I would agree with
that. It was all for shock value, and it was all for giving the hospital a name that it didn't deserve. And, Jim, as a spirit in the building, was always a really, Renee will tell you, he was always kind of a confrontational, kind of an uptight spirit. And since we come across a lot of the information that we have and we're starting to tell the truth about him, he's actually pretty happy in the building.
That's so cool.
I was in his apartment a couple of weeks ago, and we were actually cleaning it. and Renee and I were talking, and he pulled my ear. I mean, he literally pulled my ear, and I turned around and I was like, and Renee saw it. Renee's like, oh my God. And I'm like, yeah. Well, we were actually talking about him at the time that it happened. And so I turned around, and I think, it wasn't a violent pull. It was kind of like I'm here. Yeah. I know you're talking about me, kind of thank you. And his whole apartment, like kind of when you go in the apartment, you got that dread and that kind of like just
frustration.
Really angry.
Yeah, frustration.
Yeah, frustration. It's very light in there. You walk in there now, and it's the atmosphere in his apartment has really changed. And Renee will be the first one to tell you that he was a pretty aggressive spirit. He's really calmed down, and he's really become part of the residents here that has been, kind of uplifted and kind of found, I guess, a second life, so to speak. But now that his story is actually being told truthfully, he seems to be a lot happier. And I think that's fantastic. I
do too.
And I think that as we're learning more about the hospital and its residents, and we're starting to really uncover the truth, I think they're becoming very appreciative of it. And that's kind of the things that we want to share with everybody who comes down.
Well, that's what you need. I mean, you can't have people lying about you and be a happy person. But I have 3 minutes left. That's it. What do you want to tell people about what you're doing? What is the message that you want to send out to all these people who are trying to beat down your door and that are, wanting to know what's happening? When are you coming? And I'm being told that you must come back because we've got at least another hour or two's worth of conversation. I agree. We'll talk about that. But
I'm available anytime. I'd be happy to do another show with you.
Thank you.
I really, really enjoy the building. I really enjoy actually being interviewed by you or talking with you. You're actually really a great person to be interviewed with. But I'm very proud of this building. I'm very proud of the progress that's coming forth. And anybody who talks to me knows that we can go till midnight if you really wanted to. And I understand.
I'm a threat to do that myself. So, but
and I understand that. So, but in terms of a message, just be patient. Like I said, I get a lot of emails and a lot of texts. People are, and I understand, but we're really working hard and we're doing the best we can. And be patient, because trust me, when we open those front doors for the first time, it's going to be worth it. People are going to walk in the door and they're not going to recognize the building. They're going to have just great experiences here. And it takes time. And one of the things that is true is that you hit the nail on the head. We did bite off a little more than we could chew. And we thought our time constraint was going to be a lot quicker than it is. The problem is that every time we get involved in something, one problem becomes 4 problems.
Yes.
So, just tearing down a wall isn't as easy as we thought it was, because then we get into the wall and we realize that the reason why the wall is in the condition it's in is because there's plumbing behind the wall that's got to be fixed. And so every time we kind of turn around in the building, one issue becomes 4, and we're working as hard as we can, because trust me, we all want to share this building with you. All of our teammates here, we are so excited and we're so happy, and we really want to share the building with them. But we just ask that everybody be patient, and hey, don't forget about us.
Not a chance.
I know it's taking a lot longer than we anticipated, but it's going to be worth it. I mean, it's just an amazing building, and the activity level has just spiked. I mean, it's crazy. Like I said, I'm in the building a lot by myself at night. I try not to be, but every once in a while I am. And leaving at the end of the night, I'll